Hello, this is James Lopes with Rise Star Church, and we're in Valdosta, going 84 west, right at 75 south and north, right in that area and such. But this is the continuation of the Green Field and kind of what's happening and everything. And so, all excited because we got things happening, socializing, loving, and all the things that Rise Star was the law designed for and such. So, what we're seeing, um, first of all, what I want to do is call out all third parties. Okay, that's any independent offering business for any sorts that they would, just like all the other organizations, especially the towns that I go through west and such. Uh, and especially those that just want to meet somebody really more for down to the nitty-gritty of, like we talked about, getting the stuff out of the way, all about love, maybe even unconditional love offering. But all you have to do is wear green and come out with your group and your cameras and such or the other when you know the main increases in the area, because it's different than blind first aid, the fatal battle with blind first aid, which is everywhere. Uh, this is just kind of the legality of things has to be just right here because it's not Vegas, and it doesn't really include all ages with kids and such. Uh, but so we're doing such a great job. But the thing is, there's going to be the deterrence, and there's going to be the this town, for instance. There's a lot of the blind first aid and the fatal battle and the chastity chase, but they kind of hide the lead a little bit still. And there's not the uh, well, they just make it very clear that it's the just keep in mind for Locust, okay? They don't have them in this town. It's more kind of general consensus of according to coupling process and picture perfect relationship that you can find all in the grid. Really, you need to understand the words that I'm speaking to you, or it's an economic basis of funneling down discomfort so you get to work and do your thing, which is all fine and dandy, but with their star rising, this revolution of love, especially even out of love, and a two-way chase now. It includes the women presidents. So it's the deterrence is going to be those locusts that are going to make you a burning sensation. And well, just someone that's going to make sure that there's nothing happening around you. The thing is, the beautiful thing about all the offerings is if there is a problem, if it's just not enough action for you, and it's like, well, kind of wait around. Well, all you have to do is go to the presidential program, and you can really understand all this happening and all the surveillance, and for the reason such. Because the thing is, if there's nothing happening for you, it's too boring, too whatever. That's exactly what you need. That was the offering that you needed because we're here for love. We're here for socializing, and they're doing a great job with the fatal battle, blind first aid. They're doing a great job with, you know, we got uh, the people that, you know, are attracting the attractions wearing green, the girl, the guy, the attraction, or the conversation, such. Um, we have the kids with the parent wearing green. Come talk to me. I want to give you and your family the attention, give my kid the attention. You know, uh, use the focal point of me wearing the green. It's a beautiful thing, and it's all good. It's more really in the outer ring because of in the inner ring where the main priest is. Of course, you know that it's the sin offerings. Okay, now the sin offerings are unconditional love, and we're talking in legality that it is love anywhere that you know is trying to be veiled from those little eyes, those little eyes. Notice little eyes that can't be in a veil. You're not up front. You can't really talk about the things that there is. Now, it really doesn't apply to the priest because of prayers in your face of in the veil. And you could go through that. You're just going to see, you know, this priest is in the door of the legality of things to make sure that the third party has all the freedom that they could have in the environments. Because, you know, you have a writ, you have people with a camera, and we have the work, which is the conviction and making sure. And there's a couple things I'm going to need to go over. For instance, I work on the chastity chase in the environment. What is the chastity chase? Well, the chastity chase is a kid coming to the knowledge of the sexual. It is a kid learning how to deal with the attractions of others. It's really the things that really attract us to all, but really it's the, you know, pinpointed at the sex process thing, the rise star, the time, the foundation that they need to set on wheels of their traditions, the family, culture, their things of that nature. So it's really education. Um, Really, what works best is if, because I'm always going to give the kid, like I'm stating, Brent, always going to give kids the attention that people should have towards one another. Um, Toward kids, if they didn't have a problem with the things of sexuality, or you know, couldn't speak freely, veilish, that I would have whether or not they wear green. But when they're in green, it's definitely going to be pinpointed. This is definitely a time that a parent can, well, this guy is going to hit on you, basically. And let me show you how we're going to always protect you, and the police are always going to protect you. And we always got police on standby anyway. And let me show you what the little tricks they try to like. I'm the image on the mountain for it. If you checked out the spy stuff, okay, I'm the spy. I'm the, actually, I'm the super spy, but they're the spy. And the whole concept is we're not making predators anymore because it has nothing to do with lust or some predator. It has to do with what's called push. And a push has to do with chase and attraction and things of that nature. I'm not going to get into that right now. But really, what counts is that I am the image like Moses held up on the cross of the snake. When the snakes came out and bit them, that they'd look at, they wouldn't die. It's really how we in society have done this justice stuff, hidden, because we're marketing for the criminal justice system, making predators, as with labels and these other ones in the chain of locusts that you can read all about. But any which way, we're not making them. Now it's just this image. This image, it's kind of like, here I am. I'm talking to an adult, and we can get into the nitty-gritty about sex and loving relationships and what we like and such and such. And then all of a sudden, and we're arranging all the peoples of, in the governing, we the people back in the one thing I am always promoting, and it's going to be funny when I talk to these people, prayers in your face, these, wouldn't it be nice to have a website? They talk about salvation works. It's nice to have a website. What we're going to do is we're going to take all the organizations in your society, and what we're going to do is we're going to put on there how we're involved in people in your society. The transient, the drifter walking through, the drunk down the street. Any which way, we're going to have all the techniques involved to get them more organized anyway, the people governing our society. Of course, we know the coupling economy, if you read your stuff. And the we'll have salvation stories and success stories to where other organizations not involved in their community, they can get more involved in the community. They can get on these same pages. They can bid for these positions to show these things. And then it's transparent. We don't have any secret chat. What are they doing? What are they trying to make? We got an image. We don't have to make predators. We can take, we have the chest and the chase. So that's what's really happening. It's kind of like a hush hush, okay? So here I am. We're organizing adults. Here comes the 12 and under. Whoops. Totally different. I go into this like little thing like I'm a predator. They're acting like they don't know. With them, the spy, the kids. And they already went over stuff before this ever happened anyway. There's this guy. They're trying to catch him. It's a predator. To get a totally opposite of predator. All I am is how we should treat unconditional love, how we should be good to one another. How I'm the foundation setter. But anyways, they don't know this. They're caught in games. Games, and so they learn not to be played by games. It's a very beautiful thing. But so this is what's going in the center. But the thing is, there's this other deal. Because I talk about, well, the Queen of Age, King's Pot. It's the marriage supper of the Lamb. But I also talked about the free enterprise queen. And I also talk about how it's almost like we're all just a bunch of people under 12, no matter what age they are. Because they kind of treat me like they're the spy. And I'm not just the image or the foundation Rise Star Center. I'm really a predator. It's the political confusion involved that we're going to have and deter you from coming to Rise Star Church to express your freedoms as you will. We got blind first date. We have Fatal Battle, but that's everywhere. We even have some versions of Mini Date and the Chastity Chase in ways everywhere. But we don't have the legality of this unconditional love offer. And the churches will agree, it's not a free-for-all. It's not a hidden everywhere. So, by the way, we have millionaires of our congregation that are searching and following everyone around. So, any which way, and looking in their cities. Because what we're not going to have is hidden sexually active kids everywhere in society. We're only going to have them around Rise Star Church. And it's only going to be publicly known in one spot because it's not Vegas everywhere. You see what I mean? We the people speak because I already know if you pray and concentrate about it, you know it's true. You want to know where they're at so they don't affect your kids, and you know how they affect your kids because they're kids. But they were prematurely Rise Star for some reason. But you don't want them with your kids because then they're going to prematurely Rise Star down too. Yeah, you're going to kind of want to know about that, I think. The veil is pretty important for natural Rise Star, but at the same time, you're not going to want them hidden somewhere everywhere and go, oh, hey, I guess it's everywhere. Oh, so then there's some people you don't know because they're hidden. No, there's the public well of Rise Star Church, and they come at least 2 times a day. Actually, generally, we're talking about 5 to 8 times a day. That's not counting the adults with the green. But of course, like I said, it's the outer ring, and the churches are doing a good job. Like I said, there's a base. Now, I'm looking for the green because we did do some proclamations. I can get into some things later. Politically, how it's going to go well in the veiling aspect, the above the veil, in the veil and outside the veil, of how we're working with the kids to keep me in spy mode. Oh, he's just hasn't been coming. So we don't make them. We're just helping them express their sexuality and helping them get confident in the people around them to keep them safe until they learn through the process of not being manipulated by games, which is what keeps you out of the veil. So, now, since this really all started in a funny little aspect, and in that little aspect is the political fusion, read it, each, and this and that. Really, what it all in the ridge, was them trying to trade places. Some of the words will have whole paragraphs for you. And so, what it was a trading places of keeping a suffering business, control business, uneducated on the most important education, the veiling stuff. So we have natural Rise Star, we have good adults, over 12 adults that don't have the issues with their issue per se, which is what the whole unconditional love offering is about. But how it was with this little funny game that we got involved in, this and that, and it ended up being a lying cheat offer, which you can also read about in the book. And really, it's very funny because I'm like prayer in the face about that. Okay. And I'm like, what offering? What business? Everywhere I go. And really, at the same time, I'm going, what problem? What problem you got? Hmm? You know what I do. You know what we do. Back to the other thing that I wanted to mention. Start to mention. This is the base, and then the other end, which would be just a predatory game. Predators making predators, and uh, instead of push, it's exactly what it is: lust and pushing yourself on people. Uh, then we need the other end of the spectrum, and like I said, the church is doing a very well job. Maybe too much, they're not, and that's what I'm saying. In different settings, they may take it different ways. The churches and the organization, the shepherds, working with the government, working with the economic reasons of the deals, and the control and the picture perfect coupling. Uh, if you're going to have sex, get married. To go into it at this point in time. But they're the only ones that really need to be chased because they're in a righteous fashion, earning, having someone earn them up. That would be a condition. People, that's why generally people over 12 are kind of conditional. The chase is set up in that economic way, and for the man to earn the woman according to the beauty of the woman. And that is conditional. There's nothing unconditional about that. Sorry, never going to be. That only applies because we put that little aspect so that children can get through the chase. When you're 12 and older, it's just a dictatorial manipulation to STEM economy, which actually keeps you back from star rising, according to Rise Star Church. And it is a thing that keeps people under 12 and controlled. And I think God has better controls. I think you can be controlled better if you think of all others, in spite of yourself sometimes. So we work on these things. Now, the thing about it, like I said, the cheating offering, how it started, is this thing that we place and such, and the edification of love and the freeing of love. What happened was they were pretending to bless kids, take the woman in a push deal, right? That you can see in the chain, or in the push compared with the chain in the red, that the elite would use to haremize theirs, making kind of their love only taken in a rape format, in extreme push format, no word format. Then they could divide according to the suffering business of justice, and as such. But door. I'm the door because the legality of the Rise Star Constitution and this further proclamation of what we need to do for the evening of love and what's going on around Rise Star Church, as already expressed, watch the deterrence. And I did want to mention one thing about that. If you're having a problem that's boring, this and that for you, you need that. It's called a sin offering. It's called your problem. You're kind of focusing on something instead of everybody else. Anyway, what we're going to do is continue to do. Like I said, the churches are having talk groups and we have little chases in the socializing aspect, and obviously it's the Rise Star Church that's why the conditional love offerings. So you're going to already be thinking about, wow, I could be a little bit more open talking about it. So it would work really wonders and such. But the thing is, okay, we deal with love offerings, unconditional love offerings. And now I'm going to get into third party, okay? Third party and what you need to do. And this is going to be a key thing. If you didn't last through this whole thing, they're like confused. They didn't read it, right? I guess they're going to be a little behind when everybody else is ahead, right? But any which way, what it is there is, so you have to put it in the format of this. In the trading places, revert back to this for a second. What I'm doing, prayer in your face, what business, what offering, what problem? In the aspect of chastity, Jesus, we're running around, stand attention, right? Because we're not making them, it's for them. But at that same aspect, what we're doing is we are, I'm deciphering I'm deciphering the politics involved in that trading places thing I was talking about. The stealing the 60% of the National Reserve of coupling, which is the only way that you can righteously actually manage people in finding love. If you haven't come to the aspect of, well, I'm a priest, I would promote God's love first, but he adds all in onto you, which is Holy Spirit, which is the love of other people. And the best way that we can organize an evening out the love of love. And that's really what it's all about. There's my preaching. I got that. Really, actually, all it is. But any which way, what we got is I'm concentrating on the kids, 12 and under. That's the only thing I'm going to chase. It's the only thing I'm going to look at. Guess what? I'm going to look at like according to the mirror of they are. And you can do your test as you will, because ordinations love tests. Instead of giving love, they do a test. Keep the anger, issue, and murderous stuff out. Reno, Lafayette, Louisiana, Florida, Portland, we're going to go around you. How do you like that? You can come out of the state to Bright Star Church with this, the actual sin offering part. Of course, you can work the debatable battle and the blank for state there, but that's how it's going to be actually. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have, it's about love, it's about unconditional love. It's about the kids, Natural Rise Star. It's about but what the third party needs to do is what I can't do at the moment because I am the door. I'm putting it in the door, focusing on the kids. I'm focusing on the marriage supper of the Lamb, which is the Queen of Age. I'm focusing on the base, which is the free enterprise queen. That would be any above that age. No faithful, maybe politically confused, maybe conformed to the money, the economic one-way chase that made us suffer in business. I don't really care. All I care about is people finding love, people experiencing relationships, and I will deny myself as long as possible because there's always rewards in the end. After all, there is only one public well we the people would declare where if any sexual act of kids that would affect us would be, they would be around there. Other than that, it's hiding everywhere. And third party, our millionaire congregations, they got their little thing out. And they're going to be taking a good record because we want to find them if they're hiding everywhere, because I guess that would mean they're everywhere. That means it's legal everywhere. Yeah, I don't think we want Vegas everywhere. No, especially with kids. I don't think it's a free-for-all. No. I guess you better leave it to professionals. I think I know what I'm talking about. Read it again. Just for applause. But any which way, there's unconditional love offerings. And the main thing is conviction. If you've read the pages, you know about the faux forness. Now, the faux forness is that old system where they were looking for predators. The thing is, the whole system is a predator. It arranged chains of people in a format, so then a perception of somebody else that construed a little wrong can create a conviction and destroy somebody's life for profit. Don't think so. Image now. Guess what? There's no chase anywhere except around Rise Star Church now. You know, you have to sit there in a box and you have to accept whatever relationship you got there now because you don't want to chase because you're going to get a charge. Police state, no, police country. It kind of had to go to that anyway because, you know, the only rights are going to be in the church or connected with the government, which is the same thing anyway. Okay? So just get it straight. That's how it's going to be. You're going to be submitted by the law and what you don't know of it, or you're going to understand and learn the righteous aspects of it. That's clearly how it's going to be. I definitely wouldn't say they got their job handled. No, I wouldn't say that. I would say you need to know how and why they got their job handled. But you can definitely guarantee on Rise Star Church with 176 pages, whether you understand it or not. You might have to check with about 12 others. Maybe a problem with 7 others. Ask another preacher. But any which way, you're going to figure out. Got it handled around here. But any which way, you can chase females around here. Girls, like I said. The guys are playing chase the girls. But you know what? I'm left out. I'm not that good looking or anything. Kind of dirty sometimes. They kind of like funnel it down with the like. I own 60% of the national revenue in a purse thing I write about. It's kind of like the business in all businesses. Believe it or not, they're deciphering that one too. There's a divide there. But any which way, you know what? I need some new pants. I don't got the money yet. I think I might bum it. Don't have the churches helping me out there either. It's a reach deal. But any which way, the funnel down of that uncomfortableness sometimes is really where you need to be anyway. All right? It's already in Scripture. They condemned him, our Lord Jesus Christ. Right? Why do you not expect them to condemn you working in my way? So any which way, the chase. Well, oh, that's what I was talking about. I talked about the legalities. You know, study the law. There's certain things that you have to do, especially with a child, which I'm going to make the picture perfect of that anyway. Marriage supper of the Lamb, according to where all the children are that are sexually active in the Star Church. But there's also the psychological factor. And then that's where we talk about the chain, the deceptions, the dreams, what they would understand, what they have a problem with, what someone can manipulate with having already manipulated the person to get a testimony for suffering business, which is out around Rise Star Church. It's out. There's only candlesticks, and they're going to sign you up. And if you got some head issues, some problems. In fact, if you read it really closely, I'm imprisoning organizations for extorting the general public with fear of crime. Keep them coming. I like these ones. They're like, we're going to get them for a predator. You didn't get him, did you? Oh, okay. Well, guess what? Now you're surrounded by my organizations. That's nice. Guess what? I put that in the red too. You're in prison. You know what racketeering charges are? It's 25, 35 years. I guess you're going to be giving me offerings every day for a long time. Yeah, that really wasn't the point. The point was love. So, in love, until the Queen comes and gives the words of legality in the right aspect to close the doors of those that could be. Because let me put it this way. this is what happened. They use these little girls, lustful, somehow naturalized star, maybe predator brought them at one time. And then they use their dreams, and they use their dreams in a format that was love and great for them, which is what we're doing here at iStar Church for them. But what they didn't know, and they only found out about 12 to 16, was all those lovers they had, all that wonderful dream they had, was people going to prison for 6 years and or more, and living with a label the rest of their life that they're probably gay now. Yep, that's the suffering business for you. You can read the bit for more information. But so we cut off all that. It's just a dream, and organizations we're playing catch up, and they're playing catch up with the adults because you're all in for this, because you're all marketed by fear and the chaos around you, and half of it's, way more than half of it actually, is just like the gang stuff I talk about in there. It's just this marketed stuff. It's just conditioned old criminals that have conformed to a way they can be used, a way to scare this third of the public, I call extortion, to pay for the old system of things instead of the candlestick game reserved with sin offering buying options. So, anyway, giving you a lot to chew in, giving you a lot to throw in, sink in. But really what matters is you want to meet somebody. You want to have some conviction. Maybe if you have less unconditional love as it is. You want to learn something with a simple thing. Well, what iStar Church is going to do. You wear green, I come by. There's a new thing in there. It made it very easy, better for the lying adulteresses, lying thieves, lying cheats. Okay? When I pass by, you have a half an hour and 500 feet. This way makes it very easy for those doing the chastity chase. They have to agree. You'll see them walk out with me, or they see them walk out right after me. Definitely still approach, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But here you are, you're going to up. Oh, that's walking distance, by the way. So, get in a car, drive away. You've had enough, that's good. Sounds good, it's according to will. No is the answer. No is illegal. Right? They construe, you can construe, but it's the whole point where the conversation can be. The thing that people hide behind their activity or their conversation with you, it's the love. It's the physical forms. It's sex. I want to love you. Physical form. Okay, now, you're never going to see this unless you come talk to me about it, though. Because I'm playing prayer in your face. What business? What offering? What problem? It's really funny, actually. But it's, it's part of the chastity chase thing. So, attention here. They're going to act like I am. The only problem is a lot of them are acting. It's like I'm imprisoning their organization, extorting. Any which way. What we're So you go out there, show people how to push, understand push. They're, I wouldn't say, okay, let's put it this way. They've done their tests. This is really what's happening with a lot of these organizations around a lot of the cities I've been into. There's this thing they call lust. Lust. You know what lust is? Lust, I put in the drive of life. It should include all things, and it shouldn't be narrowed down to only one thing. So, do you know what lust is? Lust is a push. I narrowed it down to push. Push is a conditional thing. It is who wants to be chased at the moment. Who opens up the chase for the moment. But what I would do with legality reasons or the psychology reasons of perceptions and those are good. Lust doesn't exist. Do you know why lust doesn't exist? Because you're going to find, and I am finding, in certain towns, lust doesn't exist. You know what there is? People in a box, standing there. Sure hope we can hook up the easier. I can't really chase. Except around where I start church. It's no drive. Okay? So, well, you can regulate that, ladies, because guys generally have push. Chase has always been that way. I'm actually, you know what? The Queen of Age and Free Enterprise Queen is really all about. It is something that's completely opposite. All you have to do is read it for a second. Oh my God, that is opposite. It's a girl chasing a guy. What would they chase me for? Oh, I'm James, but I'm also the public well, proven, and will always be. And also, well, I kind of got some things figured out. If you don't think so, just talk to a couple people that hear the same shit you do, and you'll figure it out. But the word is really a word. It's Bible, priest, love God. It's a word. Truth reigns. I can tell you. You know what my technique and game is? I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to go. You can fight it all you want, and it's going to happen anyway. It's very interesting, especially with some of these organizations. They're all like, oh, it's got to be picture proven. Oh my God, he wants to do somebody out in a parking lot or something. Actually, not with you looking, but yeah, actually with you looking, because that's what it's for. It's called conviction. You got a problem with it. Call it marriage, love, healing, and definitely evening out the word love. And that's exactly what the unconditional love offerings are about. Now I'm going to get to the interesting one. Now it's the organizations that are gathering some of these girls, but you need more. You need to come out and teach these men how the proper amount of push this and that. What a car they can go within 500 feet. They're cut off. See how that works? It's very simple. They get a charge after that, right? Um, but I talked about this in there, and it's very important to talk about it some more. And it is the perceptive judgment of others. That's what you're dealing with. You have what other people view you as. Okay, I'm making love with this person in some form or fashion, and we're on the way. What do they think? What is my problem with it? When it's love, it's the purest form of love, it's physical love. Condition, it's the one-way chase. That's why I only chase under 12. They have a righteous reason who got over it, or they're getting over it. It's a two-way street in a relationship. It's a love of caring, back and forth. It's communication, learning how to communicate, learning how to trust together. That is love. And if there's a chase involved, you wouldn't even have to worry about it because you're chasing, just doing things according to what is your relationship. It's not a technique nor a road that leads to doom, dividing the goats and the lambs. We'll put those in a box and make money and suffering. Yeah. Nope, not anymore. At least not around Rise Star Church. It's really nice. So anyway, yeah, we need more roamers. Oh, he's in town. There'll probably be an Amber Alert or something. How else can we light this veil for the kids? Then the chair parents know. But it shouldn't be like, oh, I gotta get looking. Because they're over 12, they should know. That's what Rise Star Church is about. So really, what it is, yeah, okay, I want a little unconditional love test for myself. I'm testing my perceptive judgment of others myself. I'm testing my conditions of love. What I should have got over at 12, that one-way chase. It's all set up. But there's a, they'll be expanding on this star rise. Really about the women's president, the women president, the aspect where they can chase according to what they did, or according to love standards, not just like the average chase material stuff. Just all the self-analysis of yourself. And really, learning what we need to from everyone around us. That's what it is. Anyway, that's why the Green Field is set up. Besides fatal battle, blind first aid, and self as its own base foundation. Besides what I talked about, base foundation of sex, the other one's talking about instilling foundations, on the way to sex, graph. But the actual just Green Field, which is very green. You want to talk to somebody, socialize. You want to be the focal point of the conversation. That means everybody reverts it back to you. Whatever conversation you revert back to you. You want to be the center of attention. You're the star. And you want to play it. You want to be hooked up with somebody. It's really what it's all about. Real simple. And they're playing it, but I got the bass section. That's the fucking section. Okay? And of course, it's only fake with kids because that's the chess. It's the image. Here I am around at the one play check. If it's like some baby toddler, I don't have to do nothing. And they've done these tests. Normal kid, I don't care. They'll play, kid. Bugging, whatever. No, it's the one in spy. It's the one that wants. They're expressing their sexuality, and it's a way apparently this game right here, and then they're expressing how they would. And I'm looking, and I'm making obvious to them. And I'm acting sneaky because they're trying to play the predator with their foe because they're making because they're just stuff. Um, and that's another thing too. The deceptive judgment of yourself, others, the, the conditions of your love. It has to do with chase, and it's the faux fortness. It's the really back to the sections of the stumbling block of the old organizing of the old criminal justice system that only exists under 12 now. And the make holy concept, which is the instead of poking holes in it or looking at the problem like a problem, you actually are doing something about it. You have something to replace it, and that's really the concept. Uh, Making something better, making the solution to the problem, not just realizing the bitching, the cursing, all that stuff is just a question because you don't know. And you don't know what to do about it. All you can do is divide it. And then the knowledge will come of the bringing together for purpose. So, and that's the full force about. And I want to see less of the full force. But it's very funny because see, here I am. There's a lot of fucking get down stuff. But it doesn't exactly include me. That's what the free enterprise queen of ages. I have a lot to do with that because I have to stick the foundation, example, and show that I'm hollowed awesome to these hypocrites, according to it's dumb and she just wants to sleep with a kid. Duh. I want a beautiful, sexy thing that wants me just like any woman. And it's based on in the veil and out of the veil, and you just don't see it obviously yet. But you will. And all you have to do is come around and start church. Now, we're going to talk about the organizations that are actually doing the actual sit-off forms and the third party that come to the taught by that those ladies that come, they push the love aspects, but we're also coming for the love, and hopefully, especially it's a guy thing. They want to get laid, some of them, so do you anyway. But you know how it's really funny because here's this as I travel across the United States, mission, promoting the social group and the Salvation Works page, getting transparency organizations and such. I'm like looking homeless, right? It's great. And then, so here's this nonchalant guy walking around, and I'm walking in and out of businesses, and there's the green stuff, and I'm going, what business? What offerings? What problem? Is that word kind of? Well, I guess it's like in that thing I wrote. A secret hunter thing. I guess not here. But see, what I'm doing is I'm creating it well because it's really, it's already created, but it's really targeted anyway. Because the thing that I want best is because the other thing, those conviction things that I said, and then there's also the fantasy thing. There's only one place that you can have sex, go out, straight, or however in between, in a public place. Usually, if they've got some stuff going on in there, well, it's already set up in there anyway, because there's at least two government issued ones. So, uh, the but you know that's what the thing is about. So the educate I need word. I need to cut the doors off of the hell box. I'm going to make a heaven box because I believe there's political confusion involved as that would try to steal or manipulate people. That's not real, and it is. So so it's really funny. Like I was saying, there's just like looking on this guy, and then there's these one rich organizations, right? Millions off of offerings, and then of course third party group, like I said, American person looking for love. You think it's only sex at the moment, education in that process too. You get it, and come here, find woman, girl, and the girls coming too. Don't let the deterrence of that. It's not relational freedom. This is the public will. We generally have to fight for it at the time because the control of things. That's why it's funny. Now I talk about the cheating, lying cheat on. It's funny because I walk in and do this thing. Sure, I can chase. Sure, I'm the king of chase. I developed the two-way chase. I educated on the one-way chase, divided goods and hands of jail. We cut the church into two. It's the jail, it's the church. You know, get to work over here and it's breaks. We gotta handle it. And if you're broken now. You know, we're gonna make you a conditioned locust somehow. No, don't think so. We got so we're gonna kind of put it together anyway. That's only gonna be 12 and under. Get over that stuff. Any which way. The so here's this guy. He's kind of I try to shop and stuff. And walk in, I walk out, and then you'll see all of them rushing. Well, because they're so used to behind. I mean, just trying to trade places. These other organizations, they kind of mirror the criminal justice system with it. We're doing it. But it's still like, I can't even be there sometimes. Sometimes I can. I don't even go in. I'll say, what are you doing? But I go in, I got to check. Because, you know, like I said, I can chase. I can push. But it's got to be on a legality basis. But Queen of Age, little girl, real simple. Legality, she invited, I didn't chase. Two, I talked about love and stuff like that, physical forms, and she brought them. You mean sex? She got it. Play. And then I express it in the love. Queen of Age, you have a queen. And evens out the crap that keeps us all separated. Any which way, kills the, and it's obvious to the people around us, too. Takes care of the psychology, then takes care of the legality. It also makes sure that it's a not a free for all. People see it's very hard to it's very direct. I couldn't tell her personally to do that because that'd be directly, that would be called grooming. They use. It's very politically construed, but that's why I'm the door. Because I don't want to wait for her. It leaves, and I wrote the thing, it leaves open for you. You have And I talked about many times, like, oh, you should come around with the ladies and stuff, like sex. They do, but you know what? Mostly come by children. Because there's a lot of sexuality kids. We're cutting it off with third parties, you know. I put it out there. We're going to find her. Wait, you should be giving somebody a challenge. You should be institutionalized because you're affecting kids. Or you're only going to do it around Rockstar Church, the public well. So we know it's all safe and secure, not screwed up in society. And you're learning how to veil talk to another kid. So you can be a super spy, right? In the realism. And so it's really good. So they're already out the purest things, like I said. Any which way. You're a third party. You come in. If it's a government thing, and by the way, I put a little deal on such or the other. But now I'm going to talk about what you should say. Because we've kind of opened it up. I said at first in the red, pretty much leave the kids alone, but I've already got a testing things. It's anyone in green. Like I already did the protection for the chassis chase so they can get their thing within half hour and 500 feet. Or they go out with me, or they get in a car and drive away. What they need is conviction anyway sometimes. Sometimes the kid is in spy mode, and what they need is kind of the scare factor to get. That's one thing I didn't mention. It really goes with the self-judgment and everything. But they want to get over the fears that's out there that will institute the securities of trusting the parents, trusting the cops, and things of that nature. So you go up and talk to them before they get their car, whatever this case may be. And I'm going to relate it to kids, but it really relates to all ladies in green, because if they're coming around and they're not saying anything, they're wearing green, you know what they're there for. But generally, because of the trading places and access, they're in a faux thing. You know, for the public well, so the foundation is about sex. And we're going to find out if you want something. It's really simple, not too complicated for you. Don't really have an issue about it, do you? And really, that's what conviction is all about. And that's what's the beautiful thing about the door. And within that half an hour, 500 feet on a pass and such. Because I don't put up with it. I'm looking for, I'm going to make it hard because it's the queen of age and free enterprise queen for a reason, because she gets the other way race. Chase. The legality, the thing that guarantees the well open for good. I'm not going to let it disappear anyway, because I'm going to leave it free to where they can't do any charges around here. They have to see it. And now I'm going to get into the lead for you. Okay? But you know, first of all, I'm going to say, like I said, if they're not there for sex, guess what they're there for? Luring sex crime, where it's not legal around Lifestyle Church because of the red. They're only set on a blind format for the particular reason of their chain, if you follow along with it. And they are a foe for this. Should be under 12, but really they aren't. Or maybe they are. But really it's your education. Like you're probably looking for problems in America, not make holy aspect. You're not contributing to the education, getting through your issue. And you need to help people get through stuff with education, with knowledge of the truth. And if there is such a problem with something, well, tell me what it is. What is my problem? Let's relate, right? And that's what it's all about. So that's generally what they're there for. Organizations send them blind all the time, especially in the criminal justice format, which higher ups they like and such. And so you just got to go, okay, well, get over that stuff right there. Okay, this is Limestone Jews offering. Yeah, okay, well, guess what that is? Who does that? Okay. Well, guess what? Now you have a self-analysis of your conditions in love. How much is your love unconditional? Is there a uh, condition? The perceptive judgment of others. Is there perceptive? Well, guess what? There's also this other thing. I travel because I thought, Vegas in one spot, especially when it involves kids. You should probably travel. The city might, probably be a little better. So designed that way. I'm sure the churches agree. So the thing is, there's a beautiful thing. America is a nation of dreams, right? Big Apple, it's dream capital. Well, we're going to bring it back to the dream capital because, dreams are, we look at science fiction. A long time ago, some of the stuff is real now. Star Trek with the cell phone now, same thing. And it runs America. And it's the drive, it's the push. It's not lust. Getting rid of that word. That has nothing to do with shit. It has to do with you don't have lust, you look dead. Sorry, you do. You're a machine. So it is dreams. And everybody has dreams. I've always talked about it. Whatever. But any which way, there's a half an hour. Whenever I start church comes down, this guy. Half an hour at 500 feet. That's what you have to do your dream in a public place somewhere. That one or all of them. Don't matter. It's only legal at that time. Churches agreed. Government couldn't find it. Court case. So that is the dream. To liven up your life and whatever offerings you do. Anybody can come and offer themselves because it's so uneven right now. Purpose. They offer themselves at any time. Anybody who takes offerings, 4 times a year, such. But you're probably going to have a battle experience, especially with the actual sin offerings. But, you gotta put it to that. That's what I would do if I was chasing that. Court of the dream. What business? Oh, yes, it is that business. What offers? Yes. You're a child? Oh, you brought up this subject. You hear about it? Cut off the legal aspect, cut off the people that would market stealing livestock business in the public wealth from the people and controlling quiet behind our back because it's here to stay. And such and the other. So, but those are the things that you say as the convictions, it's the education, and they're really fun in the process as it is anyway. Just talking to him about it. I give it to him just in actions because I'm on a treadmill. I'm not going to wait for any faithless. Sorry. Or any, they're sending blind. And I know stuff is suppressed. And it's going to leak out. So, don't matter. I'm not going anywhere. And so there's, it's going to be happening. And now I'm getting about 10 or 20 offers a day, but we need more third party and people like that instead of just these things that are kind of very kind of the line sheet that comes in behind the homeless looking dude. It's funny. So come in and just be professional, like I said, just about like I said. What are you here for? Okay, followed, stated how it really is now for you. You should get this a couple times. It's really hard to understand for you. And okay, what is your deceptive judgment? Self or others? What is your conditions? This would be evaluation. Be nice. And with fantasy, everybody's cut off to such. A half an hour, we got 500 feet for chastity chase. And any which way, let me tell you about these. There's going to be different aspects. This is very important also, especially with the children, and especially with them. Bring condoms, call and state your check up or whatever. But there's how the elite that I talked about and how they actually set up the chain in great format. There's legal women in America that they only have ever had sex from when they were small. They have lifestyles only in a rape format. Thus, they can keep everybody out but the guys that knew this information. And any other ones they can market in a criminal business. That's the 2 offerings per day. Now, with those offerings, they generally can't say no. It's kind of like a Masonic, a public Mason church. Yeah, it's like an oath thing, deal. So it's real simple. If there's no, there's greens, I open the door. If I go at it, don't do it all completely correctly. So it's not a free for all. Get that Queen of Age doing, bringing up the sex by perception, showing everybody else she invited me. If I don't do all this like great, perfect, then they can mess up on a public well. You know what I mean? But with me as a door, third party, well, you came for this offering. Oh, you're 4 years in education. Oh, here's some things that might come up if you have any disagreements. But if you come with a public uh, government issues, that's what they won't say anything. I pretty much opened up the chase for them. You can chase this little kid around. They won't say nothing. Right? Chasing this kid around. And what I've been preaching lately is to help fulfill their dream. If you just make sure you tell the child and them, well, you have to say no. As this is your temple, or whatever, and then you get into place, just be loving. That's all. It's just like when you were first validated. Was free at the well, and it's always more. There's a lot of kids around here. But it has to do with any young or old, ladies. They want to show you how unconditional they are. You should be unconditional with any. Um, Half an hour, 500 feet. I walk in on a treadmill, faithful. They have to come to me. They don't come to me. Well, you didn't earn queenship. Um, King of the public well. Your queen doesn't mean I just picked you. I didn't want to pick. I make women presidents here. And any which way, like I said, the legalities of it, keeping the well open, not let the political confusion of manipulation and control. Not getting scared from the little fear factor garbage going on either. Like I said, you got a rig, you got the cameras with you. If it makes you feel more secure, you do the thing. You can chase all you want. And if they're in green, I haven't gotten the car gone, I haven't gotten the 500 feet, or I haven't been this talk for over a half hour. And there's no. You can go as far as they want. And just make sure they're edifying love. And really, the whole point, me and the well are in this little cheating offering right now. Behind things, funny. But it's loving all things for me. It's really setting it up for a lot of jobs. I'll be hooked up. I'll have a little top. This king's spot there. But the whole thing is the little lie thing is generally think about it. You got this government where they used to deal with this stuff. And like I said, training for this little kid somehow really rise star. Training with this dream, and then with this deal, find out too later that they put 20 people in prison. They're freaking gay now. They push them. They got a chain they're controlling them after that too. So it's that's got screwed. So that's why a lot of this really getting humbled. Really, they're the ones that are older and they're just still putting themselves in the too. Even though, because they've stakeholders and everything's good here and such. But just what I always say, make sure we understand that very important aspect. Because we're looking for the queen, so funneling down with that. Keep jumping the well, and then also we can really start with the things. A lot of these organizations I have to funnel down, I have to be a stickler on. Okay, so queen, what about give me love? All right, only going to accept the love, and it's going to be anywhere I'm at because it's 500 feet from here last time I checked, in a half hour, but I'm always here. So, and that's written in the law there. And I don't think the churches are going to expand into other organizations unless they want it everywhere and free for all. So, our third-party millionaires are getting their surveillance to make sure their cities too. Well, fun and right. Any which way, the make so they bring these ones here on this false thing all the time. Here's the king. He's the king. It's been going for 5 years. They've seen me brought by. He's the king. He picks you. They're liars, and they don't even know they're going to drive one when they figure out they're lying. They denied him to be the queen. Or it's like, oh, they just got to pick you, type of thing, and nobody can come pick you. Except now that there's a public door. They can come pick you now. Well, choice is free. As long as they don't say no. Go to the little huge tree. Right? Well, but the and you know the order. I'm first. I'm not going to pick them. Door thing. Give them the information. You have to go to him next time. Whatever that education thing is really good for you. And I didn't really state in there. We should have, but it should have been obvious. I think this really, you have 4 times a year, but that's really for condition. Workers on education. Because what that's going to do is going to spread the knowledge of how they're trying to politically take away a public well and one place that we know how to search the each other. Which is very important, like I said. It's not important the most, but it's really important how we separate kids and teach them so they don't mess each other up. They can all be the right star. So, the but the educate on the love of someone that would deny himself something like that. Should be supposed to get perfectly right to open it for everyone else. And that's what I'm looking for is the heart. And I don't even care because this hurts reading. The well and I are the same. If she can't come to me, or say she's not going to come to me, and she has to wait till next level for her, and she's let down because she thought the king was coming to her to do something like fulfill her fantasy for a future, and then tell her, next thing you have to do what I did with you with him. That's what made it able that I could do and chase and push with you. Because it's a preparing of Esther's and the king's polity. And it's well, here's the education, stuff that other talk about. Here's how I can give you love as much as you want. Whatever. And go to him next time. Because I can only do it. Because it's public web, we're going to keep it open. That's happening around Ron Star Church. Even though love is all just talk about love. And come enjoy yourself.